Hey, Bill O'Reilly here. Welcome to the No Spin News for Wednesday, December 14th, 2022. Stand up for your country. Well, did you see the pictures down in the border area of Texas of the surging thousands of people coming over? Only one network showed them, Fox News. The others somehow missed this story of thousands and thousands and thousands of people crossing over to the United States in one day. They somehow didn't cover it. Now, that's impossible if you were an honest news agency. You'd have to cover that because it's a huge story and it affects every single American. Okay, but they didn't cover it because they don't want Joe Biden to look bad. And it was just a colossal demonstration of corruption. And I've gone over this with you. You know, you're here because of that, I think. This is an independent news agency at BillO'Reilly.com, the No Spin News. We don't have any ties to anybody. We produce our own news product, and people watch it and listen to it on the radio, thank God. But this border thing is really got a lot of implications for next year, and that is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. So there is a move right now led by Congressman Andy Biggs, Republican, Arizona, to impeach the head of the Homeland Security Department, Alejandro Mayorkas. So Mr. Mayorkas is hapless, H-A-P-L-E-S-S. He doesn't know what he's doing, and he's an order taker. Okay, so the White House calls him and says, do X, and he does X. He has no policy, he has no power. He's just a person who was put in charge. I'm not going to say by affirmative action or anything like that, but there's no reason for him to be there. He's not protecting anybody. Homeland Security, Alejandro Mayorkas. Okay, my 19-year-old son in college could protect the homeland better than he could because he has no interest in protecting the homeland. His only interest is protecting Alejandro Mayorkas and following orders from the Biden administration. And the orders are, let him in. Let him in. All right? And so we have approaching 6 million foreign nationals in the country in less than 2 years since Biden's been president. Now, that's the truth. That is the fact. So Congressman Biggs wants to impeach Mayorkas. Why? And he's got 20 other Republicans signed on in the new House. Well, why bother impeaching Mayorkas? Number one, the Senate will never convict him. Impeachment's the same no matter it's a president or it's a department head or it's anybody. You vote in the House, and the House would vote to impeach Mayorkas. Okay? Then it goes over for a trial in the Senate. You need 2/3 of the senators convict. Never happened in a million years. Not the way the Senate's comprised now with Schumer in charge and the Democrats having the majority. Wouldn't happen. So this is basically a message. Impeach Mayorkas. But why? Because he's just a stooge. You want to impeach, you impeach Biden. Biden's policy. I mean, last week when he was in Arizona and the Fox reporter said, are you going to the border? You're less than a 15-minute helicopter ride away. I got more important things to do. Really? So Biden doesn't care. He wants people, and we explained yesterday why. All right, it's the flooding of the zone of people with no ties to traditional America. That's what the progressives want. They want to do away with traditional America. So let's get more people in here, millions of people, who don't have any ties to traditional America. That's what it's all about. Okay. So I think it's foolish for the Republicans to spend currency on Alejandro Mayorkas. Now, scream all day long, sure. Do what I'm doing, talk to people and explain how this is pernicious. It hurts every American. We can't absorb these people. All right, we can't. They are going to be on the government rolls. We, taxpayers, are going to support them for a period of time. The majority of them, vast majority of them. And then you take into account the huge influx of drugs, fentanyl, killing hundreds of thousands of Americans. Remember, the number's like 110,000, but it's double that. Because a lot of these deaths, it's clouded in 15 different drugs they take, or the coroner doesn't even do an inquest on him. I mean, it's a catastrophe. Does Biden care about illegal narcotics flowing into the United States? He doesn't care at all. That's what's shocking, isn't it? You would think that if you were president, you would care. He doesn't. He doesn't care. And I mean, I know the Biden supporters, Riley, I can prove it 50 different ways. Okay? So I think that the impeachment card, if you're going to play it, you play it against Biden. You don't play it against the underling, Alejandro. Now, the Biden administration is saying, well, a federal judge throw out Title 42. Title 42 was when the government could turn back immediately any migrant coming across the border illegally because of COVID. He said, look, you might be a danger to spread COVID, so you got to go back. That's Title 42. Federal judge said, you got to knock that out by January. Okay? Now, all Biden had to do was write an executive order. Okay? Not countermanding Title 42, but saying something like, we're pausing and suspending, okay, all of our immigration at this juncture, except for the people who have already filed legally, because it's out of control. This is an executive order. Okay, so nobody in for 3 months, arbitrary date. Now, it would immediately be challenged in the courts. I know that, but a president has the power to issue that kind of executive order. No more. We got to stop it. We got to reorganize. We can't be doing this. And then it winds its way into the courts, through the courts. That's how the system works. Biden could have done that, but again, he doesn't care. Couldn't care less. The progressives want millions of foreign nationals to come here, and so Biden's doing what they want. Now, that's the memo, by the way. But I got another story attached to it that is just incredible. So Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, now realizes that his state is getting crushed by illegal immigration. Roll the tape.
The fact is, what we've got right now is not working, and it's about to break in a post-42 world unless we take some responsibility and ownership. And I'm saying that as a Democrat. I'm not saying that to point fingers. I'm saying that as a father. I'm saying that as someone that feels responsible for being part of the solution.
What a bunch of crap. I mean, really. So now he knows, because in California, there are more than 3 million undocumented migrants added to 9 million legal immigrants. All right, that makes 12 million foreign nationals. About 30% of the population in California is foreign born. Okay? And many of those people are now on the dole. Okay? California has to pay them. California taxpayers have to pay them. Food and housing and welfare, whatever it may be. So the feds do it, the state does it. But here's Newsom. I want to be part of the solution. As a father, I want to be part of the solution. Okay? So here's Newsom in 2018. Go.
This state has had cities, large and small, traditionally conservative, not just liberal cities that have embraced the principles of sanctuary policy.
Sanctuary policy. California's a sanctuary state. It doesn't cooperate with the Homeland Security Department on anything. But now, system's about to break. Well, it's your fault, you pinhead. It's your fault. Oh, the system's going to break. We better find a solution. I want to be part of the solution. This is, you hear, you see. This is just insane. So it's their policies that have led to this catastrophe, and now they go on, I want to be part of the solution. You're getting what you deserve out there in California. And California is our biggest audience for the No Spin News. And so many good people live in California. And I know you're trapped. I know it. You just can't pick up and leave. I know it. You got family ties. You got job ties. You got social ties. A beautiful place to live physically. And I'm not blaming you. But the state the 40 million people who vote for Gavin Newsom. Oh my God. If you are stuck in a timeshare and you haven't called Lone Star Transfer yet, what are you waiting for? Lone Star Transfer has helped more than 16,000 happy customers. They are family owned, have a 99% success rate. Their process is done legally, ethically, and quickly. I mean, does it get better than that? The team at Lone Star Transfer will keep you informed every step of the way until you are legally and permanently released from your timeshare. So don't pay another penny for a timeshare you don't use. Get peace of mind today with Lone Star Transfer. They guarantee the release of all liability to your timeshare in writing and in a specific time frame. Give Lone Star Transfer a call for a free no obligation consultation. 855-551-7066, 855-551-7066, or online at lonestartransfer.com. All right, let's go to the mail. Carrera on the message board. Bill, you wisely explained after the midterms that people did not vote their self-interest. Learning tonight that, in fact, they did, getting free stuff, given the growth of Tribe 2, and that's what we did last night, Tribe 1 and Tribe 2, I can't fathom now this political advantage can never be overcome. Well, number one, they did vote against their own interests by voting for liberal Democrats, because the entitlements that they get from the Democratic Party, that's a short-term play. That's never going to elevate anybody anywhere. It's not going to protect you from a bullet in the head. Okay? So they did, the people who pulled the lever for the liberal Democrats in the midterms, vote against their own self-interest in the big picture. But in the give me wow, Michele and I were talking about, that's what happened. Tanya, concierge membership, fabulous Christmas gift. I mean, you're going to do somebody a big, big favor by giving them a concierge membership to BillO'Reilly.com. It'll change their life. They get direct access to me. Bill, you say there are two tribes, one invested in America, the other one not. What about the Zuckerbergs and Hollywood elites of the world? They are invested, and they are the very forces that are destroying America. Excellent question. Excellent question, Tanya. And somebody else, a couple other people answered as well. So in order to amass a fortune, okay, you got to buy into the capitalistic system. You got to understand how to make money. Okay? So Tribe 2, they don't want part of that. They don't even want to try. But the Zuckerbergs and the Spielbergs and all the Hollywood people and a lot of the corporate people, they use the system. They're involved. They're tribe number one. But then they feel guilty. All right? This is my experience, that they have so much and others don't. So that they go and they fund tribe number 2 because of guilt. And then there's that whole social circle, that liberal social circle in D.C., in Hollywood, and in Manhattan, and they want to be a part of it. Excellent question. Sean Aurora, Peyton, Colorado. Mr. O'Reilly, you provided excellent analysis on Tribe 1 versus Tribe 2. I put forward a simple illustration for a simple man. Tribe 1 wants to be Americans and live in our great nation. Tribe 2 just wants to be in America with all the benefits. Tribe 2 is not invested in our system, our capitalist system, or our traditions. That's why the progressives want to flood the nation with foreign nationals who don't understand anything about American tradition. That's a little overstating. Some do, but most don't. John, while your column is largely true, there's no proof that Putin would not allow James Whalen to be one of the exchanged. John, we go back to you. People believe what they want to believe. Apparently, you want to believe that Joe Biden had some kind of sway to get the former Marine from Michigan out of a Russian prison. I can tell you with certainty 100%, Putin would never do that for Brittany Griner, ever. And I've talked to a lot of State Department people about it. That would never happen. What Putin wants in release of the former Marine is a big play, much bigger than Brittany Griner. But again, people believe what they want to believe. What am I going to do? Jim Marrero, Savannah, Tennessee. 6 years ago, I used to own a restaurant, and the prices would go up and down on certain items. I believe the current economy has done the same thing. Hence, the reason for price gouging is certain items are more expensive. Unfortunately, restaurant owners have to pass the cost to consumer. You are correct, Jim, in the sense that if you're getting hammered over the cost of eggs, which you are, okay, then you're going to have to charge more for the eggs. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a pizza, all right, or a smoothie. That's the two stories that I related to you, where I know, okay, they already raised their prices on them. Already. And now they're just piling on. It's like the gas station who won't come down to the average price of gasoline in a certain state. They're staying there because they think they can get money. Charles Perganano, Colorado Springs. To those who have lost loved ones due to fentanyl, my deepest sympathy. To those who live in Arizona and voted Democrat, if you truly want to know who's to blame, look in the mirror. There's something to that. You know, you're voting for liberal Democrats in Arizona or any other border state, what you're going to get. Robert Slaney, Port Washington, New York, on Long Island. Of all the money that is involved in political campaigns, what happens to unspent funds? The politicians can keep the unspent funds. Keep it. Can't use it to pay any personal expenses, but they keep it in the bank for whatever. Politics, travel, whatever. Not personal travel, but they give a speech, something like that. Chris Concierge, remember the Power Bill O'Reilly just went to Grip 6 website. Almost everything on the site is sold out. They will replenish. As one of our sponsors, you just heard it, Grip 6, great products. You know, we really vet our sponsors, and they're good, but they'll get the products back. And BillO'Reilly.com Christmas Hanukkah store has most stuff. We're sold out of a little bit, but you can still get it. Got great news today. Barnes & Noble came out with its numbers, Killing the Legends #5. And we don't count books like Bad Dad Jokes and stuff like that. Remember, this book came out September 27th. It's really hanging tough. And guess what snuck back onto the Barnes & Noble bestseller list? Killing the Killers. Wow. So I got two. Now, if you want to buy Legends, Killers, and Killing the Mob, we got a bundle. And we'll give you $35 off. Okay? Really excellent deal. Word of the day, do not be sniffish, SNIFFISH, when writing to me, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, name and town of which you opine. Final thought in a moment. There is a concerted effort to intimidate and silence conservative thinkers, rewrite American history, and replace our God-given individual liberty with big government controls. The very freedoms secured by our Constitution are now being threatened by the most liberal leftists our nation has ever seen. They have failed to secure our borders, weakened our position on the global stage, are trying to indoctrinate and corrupt our children in school, and the list goes on and on. But there are plenty of patriots with the courage to stand up to the far left. AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens, is the leading conservative advocacy and benefits organization in the USA. I am a member, and I hope you will join as well. AMAC members have access to money-saving benefits, a robust website and mobile app, and a magazine filled with all kinds of great content. So please join AMAC today at amac.us and tell them O'Reilly sent you. That's amac.us. Here is the final thought of the day. So I went to a party in Manhattan last night. I don't usually do that. But there were some people there that I wanted to see. I hadn't seen in a long time, and I'm glad I went. Okay, I didn't stay all that long. But a woman came over to me and was very, very nice. And that woman's name is Sunny Hostin. a member of The View. And she was very, very grateful that I gave her her first break. And I had to be reminded of that. It was so long ago that I put her on the factor. And she was on some of our legal reporting. There she is. And I was taken aback. I saw her come over. I thought, oh, I'm going to get grief from one of the View ladies. It couldn't have been nicer. And the point of it is that even if you disagree with people, you can still be nice to them. You know, I mean, I enjoy talking to her. She refreshed my memory about how I had put her on way, way back. And now she's a success, and I'm happy to help. And I've helped literally hundreds of people in this business. And so it was a very worthwhile thing. Thank you for watching and listening to the No Spin News. We'll see you tomorrow.